Okay, everyone. I assume that you know why we're here.
There we go. Okay, so we're gonna start off a bit different. Dumbo is right next to me. He's trying to keep me focused as much as he can. Because God knows he hates paying attention when I'm doing this unless he's all over me, is all. Oh, I really want to continue reading. This looks like an interesting concept, but I can't. I have work to do. I feel like for sooner or later, I need to get back to violin stuff. Seriously. We have to do this today. I can't do this tomorrow. It's impossible. Literally. So, we're gonna be doing reactions first. There's only one thing to react, which is 4.3, because God knows I've been behind for 2 days now. So I have no idea what's going on. I did get a glimpse of the trailer and a bit of Navia, just a little bit. But because of how bad the Wi-Fi was that day, I did not get to see the whole thing. I just gave up right after. So, yeah, we're gonna be watching this. I had to download it just so there's no Wi-Fi issue. So, yeah, I'm gonna be reacting to this, so you guys can just sit back and watch me be dumb. Just a little bit.
Okay, everyone. I assume that you know why we're here, right?
I've checked the perimeter. The coast is all clear.
All right,
Ooh.
then it's time. Time to shop for the latest fashions at Chiyoria Boutique. Huh. Don't you think something sounds a little off about that line?
Yeah, this is Chiyoria Boutique that we're talking about. I feel like we need something that sounds, I don't know, a little more extravagant, maybe?
We'll have to
Yeah.
talk about it later. The lights have been turned on and the audience is already here. The program is starting.
Oh, hi. Welcome to the Genshin Impact version 4.3 special program. Yay!
Yay!
As you can see, our show is sponsored by Chiyoria Boutique, one of the leading fashion houses in Fontaine. But before we go any further, let's take a moment to watch the version 4.3 trailer.
Let's
Camera
go.
operator. That can be a pretty technical job. Are you really up to it? Wait, you put no thought into finding a good camera angle, and the characters weren't in the shots. Positions, everyone!
Nice to meet you. I am Navia, the president, leader, commander-in-chief, executive director, and boss of Spina di Rosula. Hey there!
So her weapon is also her parasol. Huh. This is new.
Fellow warfare, I guess.
And a giant battle axe. What in the name of God is that? I did not get to see this whole thing because it was so laggy. And Wi-Fi died.
Alright, cameras will start rolling as soon as the set is ready.
Whoa, Marina's really kicking things into gear as the director.
Props and lighting set the scene. Actors can get their makeup done. Extras, go over your positions. Camera ready, get the clapperboard. Actors, to your position. Lights, Camera!
So we have the Kamisatos in Fontaine.
Villain, pay for the death of our mother.
You're just as naive as her. Did you really think 2 muskets would be enough to defeat me?
Your crimes are evident.
Shabooze! Oh, she's a polar muser! Wait, is that death? Or am I just dumb? Oh, she's Usia. Wait, I did not pay attention to Navia.
Not
Was
bad. The
she? Was she?
actor's emotions were all on point.
Numa?
Let's keep that take. We'll move on to the next scene.
I'm pretty sure they make sure that it's Numa or Usia. Like, there's at least one Numa and one Usia every update at least.
Chevres.
And Yoimiya's
Keep
here.
your Mora, and you can go to hell.
Chevres. Oh, so Chevres. I know it's just a movie. But still.
Excellent! That was beyond mesmerizing. Let's make a film that'll make some serious waves in Fontaine. Not the kind of waves that drown people. I mean, the good kind of waves.
You tried!
Lumi. Welcome back to the version 4.3 special program, everyone.
I'm pretty sure they
Sarah
made sure
Miller
that it's
Cruz, the
Numa,
voice of
at least one
Lumi,
Numa,
and
one
today
Usia every
I'm joined
update.
by...
Hey everybody, I'm Brenna Larson, the voice of Navia, president of the Spina di Rosula.
And I'm Erica Lindbeck, the voice of Chevres.
Chevres.
Yay! Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. This is the first time we've had you two on the special program.
So excited.
It's so great. Okay, so actually, we have a tradition on the program where we all get to sing everyone a little song.
Oh.
Huh? Okay.
Nice try. I've seen the special programs before.
You don't want to sing a song? You can sing a
I
little
love
song
singing,
about
listen.
Genshin. You know? Genshin Impact. No. Okay. Back to business. Okay, like we mentioned before, this program is sponsored by the Chiyoria Boutique. So while we're sharing content from version 4,
I did not record this, I just realized, but we're not going to talk about it.
Inspiration for shooting commercials for the boutique.
We don't want to let our client down.
Yeah, and speaking of new content, we can't have a new version without introducing some new characters. As you already saw in the trailer, Navia and Chevres will be our new playable characters.
Yay!
Yay!
I'm sure many of our viewers are already familiar with Navia after seeing her throughout Fontaine's Archon quest. But who is Chevres?
Who indeed? Other Fontaine characters have already mentioned Chevres before in their voice lines, but Chevres will finally be making an official appearance in version 4.3.
I'm so excited!
So exciting!
Oh, by the way, what do you think of letting one of our characters from the new version take the lead role in our commercial?
Oh, well, I mean, if we're shooting a video for Chiyoria Boutique, then I think Navia would be an obvious choice. After all, Navia's clothing was designed by Chiori herself.
Wait, Erica, that was actually a really natural sounding product placement for Chiyoria Boutique. You're amazing at this.
I know it sounds like product placement, but Chiori really was the designer who created Navia's outfit. Next, let's have a look at her fashion show.
Ooh, and by fashion show, we mean her character showcase. I always say that blind optimism isn't the answer. If you want a bright future, you have to go out and seize it with your own 2 hands.
Are you sure this is not a full-on different weapon? Because this looks more like a battle axe than anything.
This one's got
That
your
crosses
name
with
on
a
it.
parasol.
Proper send-up from the Spina with love.
I'll say she looks very fabulous.
I'm sorry, can we take a moment to appreciate how perfectly Chiori customized Navia's clothes and accessories to reflect her personality? She clearly pays a lot of attention to the small details.
Erica, I love how seriously you're taking the sponsorship. It's really great.
Important!
pretty sure
While
she's
we're on
Numa.
this topic, though, Navia's parasol seems pretty interesting. On the outside, it looks like a delicate accessory used to block out the sun. But on the
Wait,
inside,
so you've seen her
actually a
weapon all this
secret
time. We just
firearm
never
that can be
know.
used to
Her
ward
weapon is
off
her
enemies
parasol
at
the
will.
entire time, and she's been
Elegant and
been
fierce
walking
all
around
at
with it during
Navia
the
herself.
during the
Even when it comes to her enemies, Navia
The
is
overture.
not the type to eschew basic
the final
etiquette.
feast
So
video.
she prefers to maintain appropriate distance while in combat.
Are you sure this is not a full-on different weapon? This is
Navia opens her
this is a
gunbrella
battle
and
axe,
fires
not a
multiple
claymore.
Rosula shard shots that can pass through opponents, dealing geo damage upon a successful strike. For a
Oh, she's
period of
Usia.
time after
Wait, she's
using her
Usia?
elemental skill.
Both of them are Usia?
Navia's normal,
Or am I just
charged,
dumb?
and plunging attacks will deal increased damage
pretty sure
and
both of them
become
are Usia.
infused with the power of Geo, which cannot be overridden.
Now, when Navia's in combat, there are these
Albedo!
little markings around her that look like bullets. I wonder if that's some sort of ammo for the gunbrella?
Gumbrella.
Yes, you guessed it. When a character in the party obtains an elemental shard created from the crystallized reaction, Navia will gain crystal shrapnel charges. Navia will consume these charges after unleashing her elemental skill. Her skill damage increases with the number of charges that she's accumulated.
Oh, okay. So you're saying that Navia's elemental skill becomes more powerful if she works together with other characters in the party to trigger the crystallized reaction.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, great.
Navia's elemental verse calls forth the Rosula Dorata Salute, which unleashes a massive bombardment on opponents in front of her, periodically dealing geo elemental damage. I should also mention that Navia will accumulate crystal shrapnel charges at certain intervals if she strikes enemies with the Rosula Dorata Salute.
Ooh, now that salute is spectacular. That's awesome.
I heard that the Spina di Rosula likes to perform firearm salutes before important negotiations. You know, as a way to celebrate future success. And don't misunderstand, you guys, it's not an intimidation tactic at all.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess that's just the Spina's way of showing respect in their own way.
Yeah, totally.
Not intimidating at all.
As the president of the Spina di Rosula,
Oh.
Navia is always trying to collect the latest intel by exploring all corners of Fontaine. When
She'll be
Navia
the
is
first, huh?
dispatched on a 20-hour expedition in Fontaine, rewards gained will be increased.
Okay, so we just mentioned that Navia is the president of the Spina di Rosula. So
Ooh,
I
her
think
story
we should bring up
quests.
Spina's
I'm pretty sure Dad is
contributions
hyped
to
for
averting
this.
Fontaine's prophesized crisis. I mean, it was all thanks to Navia's leadership.
Exactly. Some people even lost their lives during that disaster. I'm certain that those events weighed heavily on Navia, but she remained tough and committed to leading the Spina.
Yeah.
Yeah, and while we're on the
Rosa
topic of
Multiflora.
Fontaine's
I really love the
crisis,
name of
though
her
the
constellation.
prophesized
It's
dangers
beautiful.
are over.
It
The
fits.
town is probably still busy rebuilding everything, right? I bet Navia's gonna be occupied with that for a long time.
Oh, definitely. That's something that travelers will be able to see for themselves. Navia's story quests, the Rosa Multiflora chapter, will become available in version 4.3. The Spina will be working diligently to rebuild Poisson. Though repairing the houses will be straightforward, the emotional distress may be much more difficult to address. If you're curious about how Navia and her crew are going to proceed, then be sure to check it out.
Ugh, I'm so excited!
Yeah, me
I'm
too.
looking forward to seeing what happens. Okay, so now that we've introduced Navia, it's time for Chevres to be in the spotlight.
It's
Okay, I know that since she's a newcomer, you probably can't wait to learn more about her. So let's get right into it.
Okay, how should I introduce her? First off, Chevres is the captain of the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol. It's a Fontainian organization that handles all sorts of difficult cases and dangerous criminals.
Ooh. She doesn't like to appear in public without good because so if you happen to run into her, it's likely that you're in some sort of trouble.
But as long as you're a law-abiding citizen, there's no need to worry. Chevres is actually really easy to get along with outside of work. Oh, Feastos are just the best snack. They're easy to carry with you and go with so many sauces.
Yep, that's deathmatch.
Final warning!
So they're both Usia. Huh. That's neat.
What? That was so fire. And I am not just talking about her skills.
I do love her outfit.
Look at her idol animation. I love that she loves snacks. That is so awesome.
She's a girl's girl, and she gets it.
She gets it.
Trick personalities.
Okay.
Yeah. The Special Patrol used to have problems with insubordination, but ever since Chevres took control, everyone has fallen into line, which does not surprise me at all. She commands respect among her peers, and she's a formidable fighter, and she leads by example. Though she demands excellence from her platoon, she holds herself to even higher standards. She always tries to be an example for others to follow, whether it's investigating cases or in marksmanship practice.
And it looks like a lot of her skills involve using a musket. She must be a pretty good shot.
Mm-hmm, for sure. Chevreuse and her musket are basically in crime. They're inseparable. She definitely knows her way around a firearm. Chevreuse uses her musket to fire at opponents during her elemental skill.
Ooh.
For a period of time after unleashing her elemental skill, Chevreuse will continuously restore HP to the active character on the field. During her elemental burst, Chevreuse fires an explosive grenade with her musket, which will split into secondary explosive shells upon impact. Haha, impact.
Whoa. Wait, I noticed that Chevreuse has bullet-like markings around her during combat. Can she shoot a special type of ammo?
That's right. Chevreuse obtains an overcharged ball when a nearby party member triggers the overloaded reaction. Holding Chevreuse's elemental skill will consume this special ammo to unleash an even more powerful pyro attack that covers a larger AoE. This attack will also grant an attack buff to all pyro and electro characters in the party.
Okay, so that's where the name Overcharged Ball comes from.
Uh-huh. Chevreuse actually came up with the name herself.
Oh.
She was reading a novel where the protagonist believed that names held a lot of power. If you give something a cool-sounding name, then you've given yourself an advantage over your enemies. That kind of logic resonated with her, I guess.
Oh, well, I guess she has a point.
Oh, I should also mention what happens if Chevreuse is paired with all pyro and electro characters. If your party contains at least one character of either type, then triggering the overloaded reaction will cause an opponent's pyro and electro resistances to decrease.
Okay, so it seems like Chevreuse could really shine in an overload team comp. But I also did notice that Chevreuse isn't solely limited to a musket. She also uses a polearm in combat. Okay, honestly, if I were a criminal, I feel like I'd be pretty nervous if she came after me.
Oh, for sure. Most people who have something to
Intimidating.
hide avoid her like their lives depend on it. And maybe it does. In all seriousness, though, that's why Chevreuse trains so hard. She has to be able to catch a wide variety of cunning criminals who try to evade her at all costs. So when Chevreuse is in your party, stamina consumption from sprinting is decreased.
Oh, I love that.
In 4.3, travelers can look forward to event wishes for Navia and Ayaka. A new 5-star claymore, Verdict, will also be
That is
featured in
not
the
a claymore, that's a battle axe.
Can have-
Future
They look
announcements
so
to learn more about them.
This seems like the perfect time for our first break. We've shared a ton of information so far, and I bet travelers could use
I
some
really
time
love
to
how they
digest
look.
it all.
You're right.
We haven't even
Yeah,
finished.
anyway.
Let's
a
take a
new
break while we
domain
take a look
popping
at
up
the second
somewhere.
group of redemption codes. The version 4.3 special program is brought to you by Chiyoria Boutique and will return shortly.
Is there a commercial? Oh, it's not commercial.
Casting options.
Okay.
Welcome back, everyone. So, we've thoroughly discussed our casting options for the Chiyoria Boutique commercial. But the content of the commercial is also important, right? Do you have any ideas?
If we're making a commercial for Chiyoria Boutique, then how about we include some event footage of Chiori?
Yay!
Chiori is actually going to appear in the event for version 4.3.
What? Well, the travelers have been able to see her store in the court of Fontaine. They'll finally get to meet her in person.
Yes, I know. Travelers can also look forward to meeting Ayaka and Ayato in Fontaine. Chiori suggested that they should stop by, so here they are.
So cool.
Hey, this is actually the perfect time for a word from our sponsor. An Inazuma-born fashion icon, Chiori! Chiyoria Boutique is your one-stop shop for the latest and most influential fashion in Fontaine.
That is right. Chiori is acquainted with the Kamisato siblings because she's also from Inazuma. She actually introduced Ayaka and Ayato to Xavier and recommended that they make the trip to Fontaine for the Fontanalia Film Festival.
So exciting! Will you tell us more about the Fontanalia Film Festival?
Oh, the Fontanalia Festival was established to commemorate the legendary Loch Knights. According to the myths, they went on a quest to search for the Oceanids and eventually welcomed the Hydro Archon Egeria to Fontaine.
It's one of the most important festivals in Fontaine, like what the Windbloom Festival is to Mondstadt and Lantern Rite is to Liyue.
Ah, so exciting!
The Fontaine Film Association proposed the Fontanalia Film Festival earlier this year, and during this time, the public may submit films for evaluation. The entry with the highest score will be given the Farina Award by the association.
Well, we can see Farina working with Ayaka and the others here. So wait, does this mean that there's a chance that Farina might win the Farina Award? Okay, now I'm intrigued.
Well, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to leave you in suspense. If travelers are curious about what Ayaka and the others are doing in Fontaine, or how Farina fared, you'll just have to play the event when the
So
new version becomes
Ayato,
available.
Ayaka, and
So we know that
Yoimiya
several
came to
friends from Inazuma will be in
Fontaine.
Fontaine for the Fontanalia Film Festival. But travelers have so much more to be excited about. Travelers
People
will
want
also have the
Ayaka to be in
opportunity
Fontaine.
participate
They're
in a
getting their
variety
wish
of
right now.
activity booths during the festival. Each one will have a different theme.
Ooh. So cool. The first activity booth is the 1000 Pace Interdiction Arc Minute Sharpshooting Zone. In this activity, travelers will use the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol simulation device to practice targeting and shooting opponents.
Yep.
Ooh.
The Special Patrol wanted the public to experience how fun target practice can be.
Brought about by the special lighting effects to defeat an endless stream of opponents and obtain a higher
I'm gonna
score.
suck in this fight.
Those special lighting effects are really giving off old movie vibes. Navia's movements are also super smooth. It's all so atmospheric.
Oh, for sure. But not everyone is enjoying the fun and games. Travelers will meet a contract employee at the third activity booth. She needs some help with her demanding client. During the activity Extreme Drive, travelers will help her test out stabilization mecha balls.
Look at how the traveler chases
Oh,
after
co-op
those stabilization
event!
mecha balls. Okay, I bet that contract employee can relate. since
Sadly,
she's been chased around
4.3
by
comes
that
out the day after my birthday, so I'm gonna be sad.
Stabilization mecha balls seem pretty ordinary, but they're actually very agile. They'll
I guess international travel can be a source of artistic inspiration. That must have also been true in Chiori's case, since she opened Chioria's boutique in Fontaine.
Ooh, that could be a strong theme for our commercial. Actually, Ayaka and Ayato aren't the only Inazumans traveling abroad in version 4.3. Kuki Shinobu just arrived in Liyue for her class reunion.
Yeah,
Ooh,
and Ito
Shinobu's
decided
in
to tag
Liyue.
along as the boss of the Arataki gang.